The 10th and final season of The Blacklist premiered on 26 February 2023.
I don't know, but it's possible he's at a nursing home a few miles away.
Wait, if you are still working with Reddington, your lead could take us exactly in the wrong direction.
With the last two episodes, this crime thriller show concluded on 13th July 2023. You can also watch Season 10 on Netflix. The season sees the return of James Spader, Diego Glatanov, Hisham Tawfiq, and Harry Lennox, with Anya Banerjee joining in a new main role. This season marks the second and final one without Megan Boone. In this video, we will provide a brief summary of all episodes from Season 10. If you are a fan of The Blacklist, stay tuned until the end of this video. Before we dive into the details, subscribe to the Cine Wizard and hit the bell icon to stay up to date on the latest news and reviews.
Anyone knows, she knows. At this point, none of the federal agencies have any solid intel on Reddington's location.
Episode number 1: The Night Owl. In New York, there was a big explosion. Aram, who works with the FBI, sees a familiar face near the explosion. It's Reddington, a person who's been missing for 6 months. Demby and Wrestler, two other FBI agents, hurry to the place where the explosion happened. It turns out that the building that exploded was a Chinese annex. They start investigating and find a notebook belonging to a woman who died in the explosion. She used to be part of something called the Freeborg Confidence, which is connected to Red's Blacklist. In this notebook, there are clues about the sculptures of Pablo Picasso called the Night Owl. This sculpture is being kept by a company in a place called Montserrat. But when they go there, they discover it's actually a secret place used by MI6. The Night Owl is actually the code name for someone known as the Freelancer. There, Agent Wrestler and Demby meet Sia, who turns out to be the daughter of Mira Malik, the deceased agent from Season 1. Sia now works for MI6 and helps Demby and Wrestler with their mission. Meanwhile, Wu Jing, who is now free, tries to rescue the Freelancer from the MI6 building. They manage to free him, and Wu Jing convinces him to join their team. Back in Washington, Demby, Wrestler, and Sia meets with Reddington. He tells them that Wu Jing was behind the explosion in New York. Reddington also mentioned that he stopped using his private transportation and security, but he won't say why. Later, Cooper, who is in charge of the FBI team, talks with Sia about the possibility of her joining their group.
Spoke of or only shared with members of this task force. I'm in the same position now as I was back then.
Episode number 2: The Whaler. In the second episode, Wu Jing teamed up with a gambling expert called the Whaler. Reddington decides to involve Wrestler and the newly recruited Sia at one of the Whaler's upcoming gambling event. Red puts Sia in a prominent role, which worries Wrestler because he's afraid she might end up like Mira and Elizabeth Keene, not fully grasping the danger of their risky job. During the game, they are discovered by the Whaler's security team, who intend to interrogate them to reveal their true identities. However, they escape and discover Wu Jing used the event to launder money from his Chinese accounts for his vendetta against Reddington. Raymond himself attends the game, coercing the Whaler into allowing him to participate with a large sum of diamonds. His goal is to confront Wu Jing and learn more about his adversary. Cooper and Demby provide a tip to the Australian police, leading to a raid on the casino and the confiscation of Wu Jing's illicit winnings. Despite this setback, Wu Jing manages to escape and later eliminates the Whaler for betraying him to Reddington. Episode number 3: The Four Guns. During one of Cynthia Panabaker's pre-election meetings, there's an attempt to harm her. 2 expert bodyguards are overpowered and one gets hurt. To ensure safety, Reddington shares information about a group called the Four Guns, known for their unmatched pickpocketing skills. They have never been linked to Wu Jing's attack. The task force contacts one of them, who only talks after being questioned by Reddington. He reveals the mastermind behind the assault, Lucas Roth, a former Secret Service agent who worked closely with past presidents, including a former blacklister named Robert Diaz, who had Cynthia on his team. Ressler is assigned to assistant Panabaker during her debate. However, she gets attacked again, and Roth captures her while they try to escape. It's discovered that a traitor within her security team leaked information to her opponent. Cynthia manages to shoot Roth, and Ressler arrests both him and the traitor. Meanwhile, Reddington uses the 4 guns to free Robert Wesco, a man involved in illegal activities, so they can embark on a treasure hunt.
Robert! Oh no. No way, I'm not getting in.
Episode number 4, The Hyena. A lawyer is found dead in a restroom. Reddington tells Cooper it's linked to Warren Botswick, a wealthy man who hired his money. Warren's video reveals clues hidden in a poem meant to unite his triplet daughters. Kendall, one of them, shares the video with the team.
In days here on Earth, I've made a bleak discovery.
Reddington obtains the poem and seeks Wesco's help to decode it. The hyena kills Kendall to get her clue. Team keeps an eye on Alex, another daughter, while Reddington and Wesco work on the clues. Cordelia, the third sister, collaborates with the hyena, who kidnaps Alex. Reddington confronts Cordelia at Botswick grave, solving the final clue and accessing the wealth. In the end, Wesco is approached by Zhang Wei for a mutual interest, and Reddington tells Cooper he and Wesco have reconciled.
If that's the case, perhaps you'll honor my request to stay away from Robert Wesco.
Episode number 5, The Dockery Affair. The task force looks into the murder of Judge Alice Dockery, aided by Red's forensic expert, Herbie. They aim to clear the prime suspect, who is innocent. By questioning people involved in her past cases, they suspect one defendant. Ressler and Sia apprehend him before he harms another victim. Meanwhile, Wesco talks to Wujing about Red's betrayal. Confronting Red, Wesco learns Wujing was right and joins forces against Reddington.
Instead of denying it, he actually confessed he has been working with the feds for years, just like you said.
Episode number 6, Dr. Laken Perilous. Conclusion. Wujing plans a prison escape to free Dr. Laken, who learns about Red's FBI connections. She ordered to extract information from Dembe, recently captured by Wujing's allies. Wujing and Wesco recruit Bo Chang, known as the Troll Farmer, against Red. Wesco strategically drops his phone near Dr. Laken's location, leading Red and Task Force to rescue Dembe. They find Perilous has almost killed Dembe without gaining any useful information. Dembe is saved and visited by Red, who reveals Wesco as his mole in Wujing's group. Wujing discovers Wesco's betrayal and kills him. He also orders Dr. Laken's death.
跟他的事都办完，处理到他。
Episode number 7, The Freelancer, Part 2. A private ferry exploded in Baltimore Harbor, and Reddington suspects the freelancer's involvement. He assigns the task force to find him. With help from Herbie, Ressler, and Dembe, find clues at the pier where the ferry departed. They discover a substance used to overheat the ship's engine. Reddington visits his old friend Rogelio to discuss surveillance lapses. He learns that Alban Vasily, a suspect, was tipped off about Reddington's actions. Vasily works with a photographer to identify task force members. With Herbie's help, they thwart another attack and capture the photographer. Wujing hires mercenaries, including Henrik Fisker's squad. Meanwhile, Ressler, who's been clean for 2 years, is tasked with supervising an addicted agent named Jonathan.
Donald. Jonathan.
Episode number 8, The Troll Farmer, Part 2. Reddington faces issues with a steel shipment due to rumors spreading by Wujing. Bo Chang stages a fake shooting at a hospital to steal data from a NSA agent's badge. The task force investigates, leading them to a classified NSA meeting where Chang steals a cyber weapon. Using a tracking device, the task force locates Chang's hideout, capturing him. Cooper strikes a deal with Chang to work for Reddington. They plan to exchange a fake suitcase for Chang's freedom. However, Vasily interrupts the meeting, fleeing with Sia's former partner, Deaver. Reddington receives Vasily while Deaver is arrested by the FBI. Chang remains in custody. Herbie, eager to assist, is offered a job with the task force by Reddington. Reddington predicts an end to the conflict with Wu Jing soon.
If we play our cards right, this war with Wu Jing will be over in 72 hours.
Episode number 9, The Troll Farmer, Part 3. Cooper and the Troll Farmer meet with Panabaker, who confirms the NSA's cyber weapons upload to an undetected cloud storage. The Troll Farmer is taken to Task Force headquarters but escapes, later contacting Wu Jing with the building's coordinates. However, it's revealed that Chang's actions were part of a trap set by Reddington and the task force to lure Wu Jing. Reddington had constructed a duplicate of the headquarters to trick Wu Jing into using the weapon. As Wu Jing and his allies arrive, Chang hacks the FBI database. Wu Jing enters the building but is confronted by Reddington, who eliminates him. Reddington then deals with the Fisker squad and Wee before instructing Chang to erase evidence of his involvement. Chang releases the NSA asset and leaves, leaving the task force with the weapon. Cooper returns to find the cyber weapon and 2 bodies, but no clear evidence of what happened. Reddington apologizes to Cooper and prepares for potential conflicts with Main Justice. He assures Cooper that the issue with Wu Jing is resolved and he's no longer a target.
Wu Jing's misguided crusade simply put a spotlight on a much larger problem.
Episode number 10, The Postman. A shooting erupts at a Virginia prison after a weapon is smuggled in. Reddington suspects the postman, a skilled smuggler. The postman was previously arrested by Cooper, but he is now free and expanding his illegal operations. He is involved in creating a chemical weapon using Abrin-loaded rosary pea seeds. Harvey discovers that the postman uses silent drones for deliveries. Ressler and Cooper locate his workshop. They uncover plans to attack an office building where the city prosecutor who arrested him works. With Reddington's help, the task force apprehends the postman. Cooper informs him that while some evidence was falsified, he is still guilty for the different crime.
Voted to convict because the evidence was overwhelmingly against you.
Unlawfully so, it seems.
Episode number 11, The Man in the Hat. A convenience store in Philadelphia is robbed, with 4 visitors taken hostage. A live stream captures a man resembling Reddington among them, prompting Cooper to send Ressler and Dembe to check. However, the man turns out to be a regular customer and there's no sign of Red. Instead, Red's pistol, the Browning used in other crimes, is found at the site. Panabaker threatens to investigate Reddington unless he's turned in by day's end. The hostages mislead Ressler and Dembe, allowing Red to escape. He later rewards the victims and secretly gifts Cooper with peanut chews from the store. Red confronts Panabaker and convinces her to continue their partnership. Meanwhile, Sia and Herbie uncover details about Malik's death, and DNA tests reveal she was not Sia's biological mother.
It's broken now.
Episode number 12, Dr. Michael Abani. Michael Abani, a doctor who helped injured people in Tyres, gets arrested by the government there. He's accused of terrorism and supporting the Houthi government. He faces execution in 3 days unless more evidence proves his innocence. Dembe, a member of the task force, learns that Abani is engaged to his former love interest. She asks Dembe to help save Abani. The task force investigates supply chain disruptions and finds money in Abani's offshore bank account. They discover that someone else was using the account to launder money, not Abani. Ressler and Dembe arrest the person responsible, and Abani is freed with Reddington's help. Meanwhile, Red spends time with Agnes, and a congressman, Arthur Hudson, finds the task force listed in the FBI's budget. He wants to investigate further, thinking it's unauthorized and could be linked to money misuse. Cooper is concerned about recent murders connected to Wu Jing and Wee.
This task force can only function if it remains a secret, even from government. In the past, we've been able to keep our work quiet by delivering high-profile cases.
Episode number 13, The Sicilian Error of Color. Sia teams up with Red to uncover information about Mira Malik. They go on adventures to gather collectible items for a garage sale hosted by Red. Along the way, Red trades a blue stamp to the wife of Mira's former partner. She pays him with a check, which Red gives to Sia for her investigation. He also shares a story about Islaro and Manolete, showing Sia Islaro's skull. After the sale, Cooper tells Red about concerns raised by Arthur Hudson, who works with the head of the U.S. Senate Intelligence Committee. Red resolves the situation and promises to return to the task force. Cooper assigns Sia to keep an eye on Red's movements. Flashbacks reveal that Mira betrayed her partner after he got into trouble with the Chechens.
Copy. Nigel!
Copy, I'm here. Mira!
Episode number 14, The Nowhere Bride. The task force receives a case from Charlene about her friend's missing husband. They find out his identity was fake and he took the family money from Charlene's friend. He was part of an underground robbery network targeting young women for their dowries. Gemma Parekh, an Indian immigrant, ran the operation using parolees. Wrestler captures one member and Demby tracks down another who falls for his victim, leading to Parekh's arrest. Meanwhile, Reddington meets with a Brazilian mafioso who hired Weta as a bodyguard. Reddington tells Sia about Mira's past, including her connection to Sia. Mira found Sia abandoned in Kolkata and raised her in London. Her colleague used Sia to force Mira's help with his debts, leading to his death by the Chechens. Reddington couldn't reveal Sia's real parents.
I don't know. You had been abandoned.
Episode number 15, The Hat Trick. Upon learning about the task force's legal troubles with Hudson, Reddington gives Cooper 3 new blacklisters simultaneously to showcase their value in court. The first is Rebecca Anders, a corrupt lawyer who embezzled money from her clients. Wrestler investigates and discovers she stole more money than initially reported. The second case involves a mass embryo loss at the IVF clinic due to security breaches. Red suspects a hacker, but Herbie and Sia link it to the head of the clinic's security firm. He confesses the attack to keep the money for himself. The third blacklister is a nurse who overdosed patient with potassium chloride to hide murders. She blames a factory for the overdoses, but it's revealed that insiders knew about the conveyor belt issues. Red planned to donate his money to the Wildlife Fund. Connecting the cases, Red reveals the cases were meant to teach the task force about the importance of financial wealth in people's lives, even if the cases weren't as significant as they seemed.
But look at the bottom of every bowl, and there lies the poor Brazil nuts, untouched.
Episode number 16, Blair Foster. Panabaker and Cooper meet the Hudson and Senator Dorff, who demand information about the task force. Despite their silence, Hudson continues his investigation. Reddington hints to Cooper about Blair Foster, a corrupt figure in DC who assists corporations and engages in domestic crime. Foster's recent study on carcinogenic materials goes missing after a car accident. Red travels to Cuba to learn about Foster's mercenary. Foster tries to sway Wrestler to drop her case and run for Senate, but he declines. Demby and Herbie visit the study's writer, encountering Foster as his lawyer. Red provides them with an operative to track Foster. The task force arrests her, but she uses her influence to evade imprisonment. Red decides to extract information from her about Senator Dorff. Dorff is blackmailed by Red and forced to resign. Foster reaches out to Hudson for collaboration after losing Dorff's support.
I'd like to set a meeting with you. I know today's little press conference didn't go the way you'd hoped.
Episode number 17, The Morgana Logistics Corporation. Hudson continues his investigation into the task force, enlisting a former FBI agent to gather information. He faces challenges due to classified documents but learns about a meeting involving Cooper. Hudson receives threats and connects Demby, Cooper, Elizabeth and Ressler to Reddington, whom he believes has corrupted the system. Meanwhile, Red provides Cooper with a clue about 2 fictitious shipping companies linked to a global network of shady enterprises. The FBI discovers contraband French wines being transported by these companies. They trace the operation to the State Department's corporate office, where a fugitive leader escapes despite a search. Red tracks the fugitive's movements using multiple passports and leads the task force to a warehouse in Paris, the corporation's headquarters. No arrests are made, but the corporation is shut down. Red invites the directors to celebrate the closure, marking the end of one of his criminal enterprises.
Most complex and sophisticated shipping network in history.
Episode number 18, Wormwood. Reddington steps in during a family dinner to resolve a feud between 2 clans. The oldest members from both sides die after drinking wine. Red suspects Wormwood, a hired killer who uses a unique toxin. He prevents the remaining family members from leaving the dining room, but 2 disobey and die. Another family member dies after touching the toxin-laced dish. Red suspects the girlfriend of one of the youngest clan members, who initially wasn't meant to be there. She confesses to hiring Wormwood. The task force arrests Wormwood, who turns out to be a researcher. Red negotiates peace between the clans and leaves to watch Agnes perform in Swan Lake. Meanwhile, Jonathan, whom Ressler helped overcome drug addiction, betrays him to cooperate with Hudson.
She was a fugitive with Reddington.
We need to pull it down, and we need to do it now, and I can't do that without your help.
Episode number 19, Room 417. Reddington wakes up the task force members early in the morning, informing them that a report on the country's nuclear capabilities is to be stolen, but he doesn't know who the thieves are. Cooper sends Ressler and Demby to secure the US Capitol, where they learn the report has been taken by Friedman to his home. They convince Friedman to hide in a safe room until the FBI arrives. The thieves are traced to room 417, a hidden spot in the Capitol with secret cameras monitoring senator and representatives. The cameras communicate with Evelyn Corp, a mysterious entity. Ressler and Demby investigate Evelyn Corp's office and inform Cooper about Red's connection to it. Cooper confronts Red about his involvement with Evelyn and Morgana Logistics Corporation. Red explains he's shutting down his operations and giving his assets to the FBI. Hudson overhears a conversation among the task force members, confirming his suspicions about Cooper and Red's partnership.
This isn't the case of Reddington corrupting an FBI task force. He's a CI. #1 on its most wanted list. Our own government is protecting a man who's been spying on him for years. Can you?
Episode number 20, Arthur Hudson. Hudson and Agent Nixon, previously supportive of him, persuaded Deputy Stromberg to meet with Cooper and Panabaker regarding the task force future. Stromberg summons Cooper to his office, unaware that Ressler has uncovered Hudson's phone eavesdropping. Nixon reveals the recording to Stromberg, questioning the task force effectiveness. During the meeting, Reddington hacks the video conference to assert his stance alongside Cooper. Despite this, Stromberg orders a formal investigation and the task force permanent closure. Reddington's plane explodes in Maryland, but he escapes. Ressler finds Jonathan dead from an overdose, prompting Stromberg to order Cooper to capture Red to save the task force. Red visits Hetty, Teddy, and Agnes before playing tag with Cooper. He announces their retirement and hands Elizabeth's badge to Agnes.
I reach. That will remind you of her. You have all the best parts of her inside you.
Episode number 21, Raymond Reddington, Part 1. The task force faces challenges stopping Reddington from leaving as suspicion grows among Hudson and Nixon. Ressler is troubled by Jonathan's death, while Cooper, Demby, and Herbie must take sides. Reddington bids farewell to Paula and uses his allies to evade the FBI and escape by sea. Hudson tracks a warning call to Red at the air station, leading to Demby's arrest. Demby, Hudson, Nixon, and Ressler are taken to a black site. Red reunites with Ouija, who reveals Demby's impending imprisonment. Red intervenes to rescue Demby, but Demby refuses to flee. Hudson wounds Demby, and in the ensuing chaos, Red incapacitates Hudson, suspends Ressler, and escapes with Demby. Episode number 22, Raymond Reddington, Good Night. Reddington and his team take Demby to a nearby nursing home for urgent medical care. Reddington donates his blood to help Demby recover from severe blood loss. After the procedure, Reddington flees to Andalusia, Spain, to recuperate from his illness at his mansion. Meanwhile, Nixon is enraged by Hudson's demise, and Herbie decides to leave the task force, feeling it's a betrayal to his friend. Cooper and Sia investigate Red's safe house and discover his return to retrieve Islero's skull. Red's motive becomes clear as he heads to Spain and returns the skull to its homeland, the deserted Mira Ranch. As Demby's health improves, the court relieves him of duty following Red's capture. Demby discloses Red's location, leading Ressler to Red's mansion near the ranch. However, Red has already departed for the ranch without the skull or any defensive gear. Arriving at the ranch too late, Ressler finds Red weakened from his journey. In a tragic turn of events, an immersed bull fatally injures Red, leaving Ressler powerless to intervene. As a final tribute, Ressler places Reddington's iconic brown fedora hat on his body, honoring his fallen friend and adversary. After a gripping 10-season journey, the Blacklist concluded with the surprising death of Raymond "Red" Reddington. While some fans may not appreciate this ending, Raymond's final moments reveal the essence of his character throughout the entire show. Standing before the bull, the mastermind behind countless crimes found peace with his destiny. Instead of meeting his end in a police chase or at the hands of a rival, our beloved criminal mastermind opted to face death on his own terms, showcasing the unparalleled charisma for which we have known him. In brief, the finale marked the culmination of a thrilling saga filled with schemes and a charismatic boss. What are your thoughts on this ending? Feel free to share in the comments below. For more videos like this, be sure to subscribe to the Cine Wizard and hit the notification bell.